Hey beautifuls, Hannah here from Reality Awareness. Welcome to my live stream, welcome to my page. I'm an intuitive healer and life purpose mentor, and I'm bringing you another energy update because there's a lot of energy moving around the place, right? And a lot of people, like feeling energetically sick and anxiety through the roof and tears bursting out and like real huge energetic big collective shifts are going on. They're only going to increase, and I'm really feeling called to share this information with you guys. So tune in, say hi, hello Leanne, hi everybody, and share this if you feel like it can help somebody, because there's gonna be some big, like, this is only going to amp up this energy, and I keep saying that all the time, right? And it's people are feeling it. Hey Shari, hi guys. All right, so let me share this as always, so I can come into deep presence with you. And I've got some, oh my god, I've got some exciting news to share with you guys. And there's even more that I can't share here publicly, but you guys in Trust Intuition will check it out after I get off this live stream. I'm just like, which one do I do first? Because I'm so excited about all these shifts and changes. Yep, you're feeling it too. It's so intense, right? And it's so important. Like I had said to you guys in the post and whatever, it's like, you want to change everything, like everything is changed like now, and I'm like, no, nothing needs to be changed right now, right? The energy feels like that, the energy really feels like that, but it's so important that you just don't make any changes right now. Now that might sound a little bit contradictory with the energy that you're feeling. Now, as always, trust intuition over what I say all the time. Like, if you're like, no, Hannah, I need to make these changes, I'm like, good, trust yourself over what I'm saying. But if it's something like out of a frantic energy of like, oh my god, I need to change all this stuff, and like it's going on, like, don't, right? And I will tell you the solution to be able to shift that without changing a thing and allowing everything to come back into, like, you'll be like, oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't do that, right? I'm pretty sure that I posted that in the thing yesterday too, or this morning, or I've been writing lots of little intuitive posts. Keep seeing fives, yeah. Danny says so true, yes. Hey Matthew. All right, let me share this and come into deep presence with you guys, because there's lots of exciting things that I'm wanting to share, that I'm being guided to share, and all sorts of, yeah, there's more things that I want to share, but I can't. Like, damn. Okay, here we go. Okay, can't find my group, no worries. I will Google it. There it is. No worries, my group's not there anymore. Wonder? No, it is. Okay, got it. Shared. Hey, Amanda. Hey, guys. All right, so really important, right? This energetic sickness that people are feeling is like these shifts, and that's what I shared, like I put on there as well today. So one of my students in Trust Intuition had shared about Uluru, and Uluru, and this is the thing, like when the whole Uluru thing happened and people, like took off, like they put the band back on, like really respecting the sacredness of it and our indigenous and the whole reason they did it in the first place, right? So like huge. And as I posted this morning or whenever it was, like Trust Intuition that I teach, that I created, that is the certified healers course. If you want to be a certified healer and learn and teach the modalities and make a career out of it because you're an empath and actually you're just an untrained healer and you know all this energy and this is like your purpose, right? In a sense, like an avenue from that, definitely. In 2016, Trust Intuition flowed through me, and it's deep in the solar plexus. It's all about taking back your power. And as I pulled that card this morning, this is the empowerment card. Like, this is taking back your power. Like, you're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. Like, the basis of Uluru and the solar plexus and everything coming back together, like the serpent of light is, moves around through the earth, right? So this is that big shift. Like everything is coming into alignment with that. Now, what does that mean for the planet? Like everyone's already feeling the purging of the toxic, the purging of what is no longer alignment. Like we cannot not be in alignment anymore. Like that is the basis of it, right? When we look at solar plexus energy, it's very much about disempowerment or empowerment. Like that's the two extremes of the scale, like controlling or in deep trust. Like that is solar plexus. Like you trust your intuition, you trust yourself. Like it's our power center. It connects us to the sun. It's how it gives power to the rest of our chakras. Like in the solar plexus, in the light field yoga that I teach, the solar plexus yoga is like we're literally igniting the power pole within, like inside of us. You know what I mean? Like that base is this big solid power pole inside of us. And it's our solar plexus that powers that up. You know what I mean? And you can tune into your solar plexus now. Is it bright and, you know, beaming like the sun, or is it cloudy? You know, I said this the other day, like it's so strong at the moment, right? So that energetic sickness. Now I've been feeling that too so it feels like nauseous, right? It feels like you're nauseous, but it feels like, you know, if you tune into it, is it actually in your stomach and you feel like you're going to vomit, or is it in your solar plexus? Because for me, it's a little bit, I'm going to say a little bit higher up than my stomach. And I'm like, actually, that's kind of where our stomach is, right? In our solar plexus. And that, you know, energetic sickness, it's an energetic sickness. Like it's actually, you know, it's not something that you've eaten. It's not something, you know, like definitely tune in. And because I always tune in, you know, like when there is that energetic sickness, or, you know, energetic sickness is very distinct, different feeling to actually physical sickness. Like if you tune into it, it actually feels very different, right? And so, you know, like I know in the past, like if I haven't had an argument with someone, you know, I remember this one distinct time years ago with my ex at the time, my boyfriend at the time. We had a real full-on argument, and I left his house and it was energetic sick in my solar plexus. Like, you know, any argument or disagreement is a power struggle. Like any, you know, like around the globe, like around the globe, around the world, all wars are a fight for power. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a fight for power. Now, when I read this about, you know, when it says the interrupted ceremony, you know, like that will be, the cord will begin to function in 2020 AD. So it's so interesting because, you know, like the dream time, Aboriginal law tells of a ritual back in the dream time that was interrupted and never completed. And I'd be so curious to know actually when that was. You know, I was trying to Google about it, but I couldn't really find any information about when actually that was interrupted, because I'd be so curious to know when that actually was, to what was actually going on in the world, to now it's being reconnected back, you know, like when was it interrupted? Like the dream time law from, you know, the Aboriginal culture, it's kind of like how far back was that? Because was it in the tribal days, and that's where everyone started the fight for power and the laws and the continents and the countries and the flags, and, you know, was it before them? Like, was it then? And that's when the world started to have continents and countries and put flags in. And so is this reconnection of the umbilical cord bringing us back into unity? Because at the solar plexus, it's all about unity. It's all about empowering one another. It's all about reconnecting us back to our power source. You know, there's a lot of people going through a bit of like feeling really disempowered at the moment and feeling really abandoned, right? At the core of the excruciating heartbreak. If you didn't watch my live stream the other day, hey Carrie, please go and watch that, right? If you scroll down on my page, you'll see the energy update and the excruciating heartbreak pain. Like that, at its core, I forgot to say it on that live stream, I'm pretty sure, but at its core, it's about feeling abandoned, feeling like everyone's betrayed you, feeling like, and it's like, you know, you might have known this, you might have walked through a lot of stuff in the past 18 months to 5 years, gone through a lot of changes where you've walked away from people, where all this stuff, and you know you have to walk on this path. You cannot not walk on this path, but in the process, there's been a lot of betrayal, a lot of people walking away from you walking away from other people. Like that's what's been going on. And yes, you've been processing it, but I feel like the past week or two has really been like, woof, like really energetically clearing that out of our system. Even though we've done a lot of that, it feels like it's I don't know what the word is, like a tail end purging of it. And it feels like this whole reconnecting back, because at the end of the day, the disempowerment comes that somebody has had to have power over you. Somebody has had to have power over us. The nations have to have a power over, like the government systems, the whole, the whole structure of our current society, right, has had a power over us. And when we really look at that deep into the levels and the scales of everything that is, the abandonment wound underneath is like, when we're looking at someone having power over you, you've lost your power, right? But there's also a disempowering, but also an abandonment of trust in that person. Like they've had power over you, whether you're conscious or not of it, right? But there's an abandonment of your power. There's a loss of power, but an abandonment of your own power, of your own trust in yourself, of your own sense of who you are, right? Solar Plexus is deep in our self-worth, self-knowing, knowing who we are, like all of that, right? And so the abandonment of coming into, like the abandonment is of self. The abandonment is you've lost yourself. You don't know who you are. Like coming into this sense, like a whole new layer, all these new levels are coming into who you are, right? So when we really look at the abandonment wound, it's like the core of that is really coming into the abandonment of self, right? Because we've lost ourselves, given our power away, and now we're getting it back. So all the grief that is coming up is actually feeling the grief of the reality of that, right? And so when we really tune in and check into what that actually means underneath, it's a reconnection to our intuition, right? The solar plexus is trusting your intuition. It's trusting yourself over anything outside of yourself. So all those people, all those institutions, all those incidences where you've trusted other people instead of yourself, the whole solar plexus and the whole energies of coming into the start of next year, now 2020 and beyond, is about us reclaiming our power, is about us rising, is about us trusting ourselves over what they say. This is the core of trusting intuition. This is what I've been teaching for years in this course. It's like people are confused, empaths are confused, like people telling us we're crazy and we need to go to psych ward and get mental help and blah 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 blah. It's like, why? Because we're trusting them over us, because we've lost our sense of power, of who we are, of our gifts, of our trust in ourselves. Why? Because from a very young age we're taught that it's not okay to think for ourselves. Number one, let alone everything else that we talk about, in school, or what happens when, we listen to other people outside of ourselves. And I always say, we go to school for 12 years and then we finish school and we're kind of walking around lost because we don't have someone to tell us what to do. Like, what's that? I don't know how to, tell me what to do. Like, what? Like, we walk around lost, and so we listen to other people and all these things. And then like, we kind of have a wake up and we're like, oh my God, right? Like, how come I've been listening to them like all this time and I haven't been listening to myself, and now I'm listening to myself? How can I even trust myself? Because I can't trust myself. Like, what? Like, what is that? I don't know how, what? Like, we do it and we're like, yeah, and then someone will say something and we get knocked back 10 feet, right? Because we're not used to having that amount of power and freedom, right? And I shared this the other week or whenever it was, like people have had handcuffs on for so long and now they're taken off. But we still do the same slave thing because we don't know what that freedom, like, do you know what I mean? We're stuck in that thing. And I feel like energetically, collectively, humanity is in this space now. The handcuffs and everything is coming off. We're starting to rise in our power, which means we're trusting ourselves. We have confidence in ourselves. We're, like reclaiming our power in like the freedom to do what we want. We're like, I'm not doing what you tell me to do anymore. I can do this. I can create this. I can do this, right? Really, really big about that. Now, that energetic sickness that I feel like is coming in waves, right? Like I said, like I have been tuning in because I've been feeling it too, and then I've seen people posting about it in my reality awareness support group, and I'm like, right, it's collective. And then I see the solar plexus, like the Uluru post again, and I'm like, right, like there's a big energetic clearing going on right now when we look at the power source and everybody fighting for power, because we've lost how to connect to our real source. We've lost how to connect to the truth, to source, to spirit, to God, whatever you want to call it, to the essence of who we are. Solar plexus, right? The core of who we are. The power is returning to us and we're connecting into the true source. Now, that energetic sickness with our solar plexus, with Uluru, with all these activations going on, on the 12th of January and even leading up, we've got the eclipse and everything, right? It's really intense. Like I said, it's only going to amplify, okay? Now, in this space, this energetic sickness, I feel, is that, you know, like we're reclaiming that power, connecting into the truth. So a higher vibration, a more powerful vibration, whatever you want to call it, right? Our umbilical cord, for example, is plugging into the correct source. Now, within that, what is happening is when we connect into the real source, the right source, the higher vibration, God, whatever you want to call it, right? We're connecting into the true source, unity. There's no more power over, right? Now, a lot of people have been predicting for years the government systems, financial systems, all going to collapse. Like, who knows what that really is going to look like? But this is the start of it, because there's no more power over energetically on the planet. With this activation with Uluru, with the solar plexus of the earth, everything's getting reconnected back. That's going to affect us on so many levels, right? Now, it's not about fear, but when we're feeling this energetic sickness, when we're having these extreme waves of tiredness, when we're, you know, like feeling all these aches and pains and everything going on. Like I said, if you didn't watch my live stream the other day, please go and watch it on the excruciating heartbreak one, right? And it's like all of this because we're connecting into a higher source, because our vibration is rising, because we're reclaiming our power, meaning we're coming back into unified power, not a power over, not a better than, less than, not a like disempowered and I've got control over you and I've got the power over you and this is how it is. We're coming into a unified power. The feminine rising is us coming back into balance, right? The unity, the core of unity. True empowerment is when we're really empowering everybody to rise up, to connect to their real source, rather than, no, you have to do it this way. Okay. Now that energetic sickness, because we're in that higher vibration, everything that is not that vibration is getting purged out of our system. Physical pain, ailments that you haven't had for ages, you know, feeling like you want to be sick, feeling like you have to sleep for 3 days. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the purging out of the system. When we go through a detox and we do a fast and a juice fast, for example, right? Like, our system, sometimes we have more energy straight away. Sometimes we get really sick and we're like exhausted. Why? Because all the toxins are dumping in our system, because we're connecting into a higher vibration of juice fasting, for example. There's no toxins coming into our body, so all the toxins are coming out, right? And then, you know, we get to a cleaner phase sort of thing. And I feel like this, feeling the sickness, all this kind of like chaos and everything, like, I need to change everything. Like, that is all the energy shifting. That's all the energy shifting, that chaotic, like everything's all over the place. I need to change everything, like anxiety, like what that is that you're feeling is all the energy shifting, because this solar plexus alignment is becoming stronger and closer. Like they say, so the 12th of January, I don't know if that's Australian time or what have you, so around there, check your time zone, is when, what did they say? So there's some special, so the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, okay? There's, you know, astrological events, that's what's going on, right? So that that Saturn-Pluto conjunction is like a specific lineup. Apparently astrologers have been, you know, keeping their eye on that for years, you know, it's been predicted for years, like all that sort of thing. That vibration is like getting closer and closer, like, you know, from now till the 12th of January, it's only going to increase. So this like frenetic energy, and you want to change everything and you want to shift everything, like, don't stop, right? It's like, that is the energetic shifts of everything. Like, so you know how when we talk about manifestation and we say, you know, we do all this inner work. Yeah, we do all this inner work for months or something, and it feels like nothing's working. And we're just like, what's happening? It's not working. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff shifts in the physical reality, right? Because all the inner work now has rippled out, and the physical reality is dismantling and changing to match what you've done in here. Now, all this frantic, frenetic energy that you're feeling is the collective shifting, like the physical collective is starting to shift, like, you know, and it's like when you think about manifestation and like something is coming from etheric form, from thought form, through the atoms and manifesting kudunk, like into physical reality, atoms now here. Like, if you feel it coming through the ethers, right, hitting, that's what's happening right now with this physical, like, that's what the chaotic energy is. So don't buy into it. Don't be like you need to change anything, unless it's something that's been sitting there for a long time and now it's the time to make the change. But if you're doing it out of like, gotta change everything, like, no, like, how do we stop that? How do we know, right? So if it's, like I said, if it's a change that's been going on for months and you're like, I need to make the change now, good. But if it's something out of frenetic, like, need to change everything, don't do it, okay? Now, sit with it for a while. I'm not saying you never have to change it, but just right now until the 12th of January, just sit with the energy. Know that this is the reality of what's happening, right? That everything outside of us is being rearranged in the cosmic universe, but in our physical earth reality right now because of this change coming. Like I said, it's going to amplify, okay? So how do we not get caught up in that? Okay, so fastest thing is get grounded. Okay, now how do we do that? There's so many grounding techniques, okay? But the biggest, most powerful thing is a still mind meditation. Now, a lot of people say, I can't even meditate, let alone still mind meditation, okay? Because there's lots of different styles of meditation, okay? But this is one of the most profound, fastest ways to step out of that frenetic, chaotic energy and feel like you have to change everything. No, all you have to change is what you're plugged into. What you have to change is the source that you're connecting into, is the collective energy, is the reality that you're choosing to plug into right now. So right now there's a frenetic, chaotic change happening, plus Christmas on top of that, right? If you're feeling that way, you're plugged into that. The fastest way to shift back out of that is to reconnect to the true source of where Uluru and that whole conjunct and the solar plexus energy reconnecting back to all the chakras of the system, right? It says, so is it solar plexus is Uluru, and then it's connecting up through, hang on, it says here, through Bali. So it starts at Uluru, the line, the rainbow serpent, sorry, not the, I said something else. So it's the rainbow serpent, they're calling it. So they're representing, they say the rainbow serpent representing the divine feminine energy to many, right? I was thinking something else. So anyway, but they're saying, so it starts at Uluru, the solar plexus, and travels through Bali, which is the World Purification Center, which is apparently Bali is where Atlantis originally was. People say Santorini, Greece, that sort of thing. Bali is like deep energy into that. So solar plexus traveling up, so in the middle of Australia, traveling up through Bali, the Purification Center, and then up through to the heart and the third eye chakras, which is Glastonbury, and then Lake, is it Titicaca, is that how you pronounce it, of the sacral chakra, and then back around through Uluru. Now, when you really think about that, right? Solar plexus, taking back your power, self-worth, self-esteem, trusting your intuition, like reclaiming your power, coming back into unity consciousness, not better than, less than, not feeling all your stuff and your abandonment wounds and they're better than me and how can I even do that, or feeling like I'm best in the world. Like, no, it's unity consciousness, right? Balance of power, solar plexus, yeah? In the heart chakra, which is where they're saying that's going up through, through the purification center, right? So we're purging out all this stuff, right? Then up through the heart, love, trust in love, opening your heart again to receive, yeah? Receive love for yourself, receive love for others, receive like giving and receiving in balance, right? Coming up, where's the throat in that? Interesting. Third eye, even ears, right? But then they're saying third eye, right? And so in that, we're seeing the truth, right? Which source are you plugging into? Which source are you connecting into? So how do we do that? Still mind meditation. Why still mind? Now, this is a recommendation that I'm giving you. This may not work for you. You may need to find something else. You may need to trust yourself over what I'm saying, okay? Whatever you do, the fastest way, like I'm sharing for me personally and works with clients and other people that I work with, still mind meditation, okay? Because guided meditations are awesome, yes, right? That everything serves its purpose on this planet at all times, right? But I'm sharing right now, still mind meditation. 20 minutes, sit there, don't move. You can either just focus on your breath, you can either focus on a still mind meditation music, so it's not a guided meditation, it's just either like the frequency sounds or, like there's one that I use in my Trust Intuition course. Like there's still specific still mind meditation. Set a timer, don't move for 20 minutes, okay? When you do this, it connects you back to the source. Yes, in the first times you do it, your mind will be racing. Like still mind meditation doesn't mean that your thoughts stop. That is not what it means. It means that you're not listening to like, oh, now we're walking down this path and now we're doing this. Like a guided meditation is telling you what you're seeing and doing and moving in the meditation. Still mind meditation, nobody's telling you anything. Still mind meditation does not mean that your thoughts don't stop. It means you become the observer of your thoughts. You become the observer of, oh my God, I need to itch my hair. I need to itch enough. Oh, there's a mosquito. Oh no, it wasn't a mosquito, right? It's just like your mind will do all these things and you become the observer of sitting still for 20 minutes. You want to move, you want to do all these things, right? This still mind meditation, practicing this on a regular basis is like superpower. Yeah. Now, a little side note, I never used to be able to still mind meditate. Whatever's, right? Ashtanga yoga, a strong practice of yoga. So Ashtanga yoga is one of the most strongest practices of yoga. Power flow, vinyasa, like whatever, like the strong flow classes, but it was Ashtanga yoga for me in the start. That taught me how to meditate. Not just one class. I did 3 classes a week for 18 months straight, right? In my early days. That taught me how to meditate. Now, I'm not saying that right now, oh, you can't still meditate. Oh, you got to do yoga for 18 months before you can. So you're fucked, basically. No, I'm not saying that at all, right? I'm saying if you have trouble still meditating, that is a way to get into it. I'm not saying you have to do that. But for me, as a person who couldn't sit still, yoga is super powerful in connecting your mind, body, breath, how it all moves, like how to even breathe deep into your stomach, middle lung, upper lung. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's very, very powerful in teaching you how to meditate because you have to connect all parts of your body. There's no way I could just sit there. No. Right? But yoga taught me how to meditate. So I'm just giving you these tools because a lot of people say to me, Hannah, I can't meditate. I can't sit still. What the freaking hell is that? Like, I can't do it, right? And I'm telling you, I never used to be able to either. But a strong meditation, a strong yoga practice for a long chunk of time taught me how to. And I'm so ever grateful for that, okay? It gives you understanding, mind, body, power, control. Like, you come into this sense of deeper power in yourself. So just wanted to share that bit. But a really powerful meditation practice and a way to step out of the frenetic, crazy energy right now is still mind meditation. Okay, now if you can't still mind meditate, another powerful way is just a deep breathing practice. So I'm sure there's breathwork practices, there's all sorts of things, right? But something that really connects you back to your body, to your mind, to your heart, all of that. Yeah, I see your comments, guys. I'll go in there in a moment and check them. So a really powerful thing to switch your breath, to step out of the frenetic, chaotic practice, like of the energy, is still mind 20 minutes every day, turn up, sit down. Like, you can set a timer and just focus on your breath, like literally, like, and allow your mind to focus on your breath. Like, your mind, in a still mind meditation, your mind still needs something to do. You'll be like, right? So give your mind something to focus on. Cool. Focus on the breath. Breathe in. Inhaling and exhaling. Like, your inhale and your exhale is what your brain connects to, like, is what you're focusing on. Do you know what I mean? So when you're allowing your mind to have a focus like that, you might be like, well, that's not still right, Hannah. And like I said, like, it's something that helps us. Yes, it's an awesome reset tool, right? So when we connect in, that steps us back out of the frenetic, chaotic energy and allows us to connect back in. Now, there's lots of different breath practices. You can light a candle and just focus on a candle flame flickering for 20 minutes. Like, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can focus on a tree and just focus on the tree leaves and let yourself go into a bit of a trance with it, right? Like, it is super powerful, and it's super powerful to practice. Now, with the frenetic energy and this like shift in energy that's happening with the solar plexus and all the purging that's going on, I would highly recommend it. 20 minutes a day. until then and beyond. Okay, so what's that? Almost 3 weeks. Like, you'll be a different person if you commit to that. Now, what else was I going to say about that? So I think it was, I don't know if it's Buddha or someone says, what, you don't have time to meditate for 20 minutes? Oh, you need to meditate for an hour then, right? 20 minutes obviously is not that long ultimately, right? We can have a shower and get ready in less than that if we needed to, in a way, yeah? So, what else was I going to say? Like I said, set a timer. Yeah, set a timer is one of the most powerful things, and you don't have to think about it, don't have to worry about it. Your mind's not figuring it out, you know. So really, really powerful to do. Now, there was something else I wanted to share. Okay, deep feminine balance restored through the solar plexus. Yes. Okay, so the anxiety, like I said, if you guys are feeling anxiety and you haven't watched my live stream from the other day on excruciating heartbreak, please go and watch that, because I went deep into the anxiety, what is in there. All these tears need to come out, right? So much is dismantling in our reality right now, and it's so important that you stay connected to yourself, stay connected to the real source and to the real energy that is actually being downloaded on the planet, rather than that phonetic energy that is sending you into the spin and sending you into all the chaos and, you know, all of that jazz, let alone Christmas on top of it, right? So Danny says, I've done your shadow work as suggested and past life meditations every day. Wow, sort of feeling experience. Yes. So many shifts along with solstice ritual. Yeah, like honestly, those meditations are off the charts. Like, in a sense, like, you know, if you guys like, honestly, I love hearing that. Oh my God, so excited hearing that. So I've had to stay on my own this week. Yes, as I'm so raw as an empath. Yes, can't be around people. However, today I feel content and beautiful. Yay, yay! And this is the ebb and flow, right? We've needed like time alone, then we come back in. It's the out breath and come out to the world. Actually, I need me time. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the ebbs and the flows. It's so important as an empath, as anybody, to really be like in tune and work with those, because that's how we really ride the energy. It's how we become masters of our energy and our reality. It's not like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me, I don't want to see anyone. It's like, okay, this is my recoup time. This is my like go away world. So that you like, this is how we empower ourselves rather than disempower ourselves. Like, something wrong with you need to be at work and you need to be full on and you need to be da 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 da. It's like, no, like one of the most empowering things that I teach in my Trust Intuition course is about riding the waves, is about the ebbs and flows. Like, you want to be a powerful healer, you want to be a master as an empath. Like, you need to know how to master your energy and to ride these waves, that there is nothing wrong with you, right? Like, honestly, this is how we get put in mental institutions in the past, and this power over, because we're grieving and we're crying. I'm like, this is such a normal part of reality, right? So yeah, listening to your energy. Yes, exactly. So Leanne says, being doing lots of crying and feeling many deaths of relationship, like whole webs or whatever's falling away. Thank you for reminding me, because another huge shift on the planet, and I know people die all the time, but Ram Dass actually passed away yesterday. And he has been an incredible, like, bringing so much high vibrational music, sound, consciousness to the planet, and he has just laughed and like vibrationally, like woof, like shifting the planet, like, you know. And I got that message, was it this morning or last night? It's last night. Like, lots of people are going to leave the planet and lots of new souls are coming in. Like, for him to leave at this time as well, like, oh my gosh, like that's a huge energetic shift to the planet, right? So yeah, definitely feeling like a bit of a hermit. Keep me feel safe. Hermit, keep me safe. Feel lately too. Yes, keeps you safe. Yes. Yeah, and that's what we need to honor and trust, you know, because when we honor and trust that, we come back out into the world, we come back into our gifts and what we're here to do, and really like owning that power and energy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's so important. So important. The other thing I wanted to share, and I didn't actually write it on the live stream, maybe for a reason, but it's about the menstrual cycles. And I feel like there's been so many women like that have spoken to me, and even myself, like I said on live stream the other day, like I'm a week early. I've come a week early, right? This whole last week, and it's been a really heavy bleed. There's like clients saying that I'm late or I'm early, and I'm like, wow, we've all just like bled now. Like, it's so interesting. I'm like, there's something definitely shifting when all these women just like they're either late or early, just bleed on the same week. Like, that's really big, I feel. Mental health unit, yeah, experiencing emotions that you want to express fully, but it doesn't feel safe to do so because society wants to stamp the emotions out, especially sadness and anger. Yeah, and I feel like that's where we're shifting in society at the moment. Yeah, your period has been so heavy and painful. Yeah, it's been intense. Like my last cycle was really like low, like not much flow at all, which is unusual when I'd done a big ritual. The month before was, but then this one I haven't really done. Well, I guess I've been working on a lot of stuff. I always do, but yeah, like for it to come a week early after probably like 2.5 years of on time, that's a big change for me. Like that's noticeable, and there's been so many women contact me about that. So all of us are shifting with this big energetic shift. Like, yeah, I'm so excited to see what comes through on the 12th of January, and it's full moon, and I'll be holding the full moon ceremony the day before, I think on the 11th or 12th. I need to double check that. So yeah, it's full on and amazing, right? So many shifts, so many shifts. So just checking if there's anything else. Physical body shifts, like, and okay, so the energetic sickness, the emotional crying, the emotional purging, the physical body shifts. This, I just want to point out, like, and the thing is, like, there's not always, but I notice I rarely get sick, right? And I notice that there's people who rarely get sick, but they're crying and emotional all the time, right? And then there's people who never cry, but they're sick all the time, or they've always got ailments, or something's wrong, or whatever. And I just want to point out that those people who cry, who ride the waves, who go through these emotions, like, and rarely get sick, is because they're feeling the emotions and not letting them hit their physical body. The people who are sick all the time, who never cry, but are like, this is happening, or a cold and flu like all the time, are usually the ones who are not feeling their emotions. And so the physical, like, because all physical ailments is emotions hitting the body. It's like trying to wake you up, right? So you're not feeling the emotions is the physical sickness, right? Now, that's a little bit different when we come into energetic sickness. You know, like we'll get cold and flu symptoms, but we're not, but that's part of this ascension symptoms, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a fine line, and it's not a strict guideline either, but I do notice there's these sort of groups like that, right? And for whatever reason, I just had to point that out as well. So yeah. So, and the last little thing that I want to say, or if anybody's got any questions, please let me know. That part of what I wanted to put in my post last night, and then like these beings come through, and I was just like, it was such a different energy, and I'm like who, like I started like typing all this stuff, and I'm like, who is this like actually coming through me? And like I heard the Arcturians, and then what was it? The Arcturians and something else. But I'm like this being, and I obviously just need to connect more with them, because they've been coming through and even been telling my Trust Intuition group, and they're like, it's the platinum beings, and then like heard all this other information, and I'm like asking more about the Pleiadians, and I'm like, anyway, it's really strong. And what I wanted to share in that post, and then all that stuff came through, was like yesterday morning, like I set off all right, but I'm a bit tired of being woken up by my cats at 4 a.m. I need to shut my door if I want to sleep longer. And like it didn't start off like, you know, it was all right. It was just, I wanted to sleep in, but anyway, I didn't shut my door. Anyway, so kind of was a bit urged to wake up to, and then I was like, well, I might as well get up, because when I wake up at that time, sun's up, I can't get back to sleep, you know, I'm like, might as well make most of it. And so I got up, did what I had to do, but I was feeling a bit off, or just like, and so then I was like, clean up, energetic clean, and I was still feeling right. I'm like, I need to change all this stuff. And I'm like, no, no, sit, connect, right? And then afterwards, I was like, I don't need to change anything, right? But there's some really awesome things that flowed through me, and I'm really excited to share, some of which you have to be in Trust Intuition to hear what those are, but there is something I'm going to share in a minute. So Casey says, it's cool that people who cry a lot are physically healthy. Crying is good for you. Yeah, it is. Like, it is. You know, people think there's something wrong with you. I was like, well, I don't really get sick, so I knew about that. So yeah, that's what I say to people. I'm like, have you cried about that? You know, because I'm like, crying heals everything. You know, if the stress, like, it releases the stress hormone. So if the stress is building up in our body, we're going to get sick, let alone what that ailment goes to, right? All right, so I'm going to do a separate little live stream as well to explain this on its own too. But I'm really excited that in all these shifts, and this particular part that I'm actually going to share about the 21-day shifter program actually came through probably about 6 weeks ago. And yes, I've been sitting with it, but it's, maybe divine time, or I don't know, but I've been processing it because I'm like, why? Like I get shown this information, I get told this information, and I'm like, but why? Like what? And it's kind of like I just do it anyway, but then the information usually gets shown the why later, and I now see why. And my 21-day shifter program, it's 3 weeks, obviously, deep one-on-one. You get unlimited access to me via WhatsApp, unlimited text, unlimited voice messages, not phone calls, but just text and voice message for 21 days straight. You can ask me any question you want. There's unlimited psychic readings in there. So, you just have to ask me and I'll put some cards for you. Don't mind that noise. The cats are just starting to go crazy out there. And the 21-day shifter program, I released that for the first time in, I think it was June last year, 2018. And I've not been without a client on it ever since. And then in the past, 6 weeks ago, I got the message to drop the price down, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. The reason I put it up is because it's my most popular program, and I got so busy on it and so many clients that I was like, I have to put the price up because I can't have this many people. It was like, that's why the price goes up. And anyway, I was sitting with it. So when they told me to drop it, I'm like, what? I can't, and I got scared because I'm like, how am I supposed to help everybody on that? I'm like, I can't do that. Anyway, so then the whole thing about a waiting list came in. So with the 21-day shifter, it has gone from $7.99 to $1.97. Now that might sound crazy and it might sound weird and what are you doing, Hannah? But ultimately, I always follow my intuition when I get messages. And I got scared because I'm like, but then everybody books in, and I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, there's a waiting list. So the only catch to the 21-day shifter program being at $197 is that there will be a waiting list as soon as that fills up. So just like the quick shift, sold out really quickly, and then I got guided to open that again because it sold out really quickly. So the quick shift is the same as the 21 days, but it's only 4 days. So the 21-day shifter is $197. You get unlimited calls, texts, unlimited questions about any topic of your life, anything that's going on. You can ask me as many questions. I help you shift, basically, is what the 21-day shifter is about. And it's, unlimited access. But that's, like I said, the only catch is that there will be a waiting list. So even if you're in my Trust Intuition tribe, there will be a waiting list. It's first in, first serve. If that, fills up, you're going to have to wait. You've got 30 days to use, to start the 21-day shifter once you book in. So you don't have to start it that day, but you do have 30 days to start that. If, the waiting list is there though, well, it's only when I contact you, then the 30 days start, if that makes sense. So I'm a little bit excited, a little bit nervous, but I also see the bigger picture, and my Trust Intuition tribe will get the update about what exactly that's about. So I'm a bit excited about that as well. A bit excited to release that, and I was nervous at the start, but I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And 6 weeks ago, it's kind of taken me 6 weeks because I've been processing it. I'm like, what do you mean drop the price? I'm like, I can't do that. So anyway, I've got showing this is how I can help more people as well. And I know it sounds crazy because it's people would say, but you can't help more people on one-on-one. And I'm like, when I got shown the big picture, I now see exactly what that means and what that's about, right? So I just pinned that comment to the top there. And that's the 21-day shifter program. If you've got any questions at all about the waiting list or anything, please send me a message. And then, like I said, that will have a waiting list, and there will be doors open, doors closed, depending on the waiting list and wait times with that as well. So first in, first serve, that's, You're so welcome, Josephine. So Casey says as well, so when you cry, you are actively crying out your cortisol and your stress hormones. Yes, exactly. And it's stress that makes us sick, right? Everybody knows that statement, right? It's so important. So, and it is Christmas Eve tomorrow or the next day, depending on where you are in the world. It is getting closer to Christmas. It's a beautiful reset of energy as well. Obviously the birth of Christ, and remembering that, even though I'm not religious, but ultimately that's what the day is about. And it's a birth of a whole new cycle. Yeah, this whole October, November is dipping into the dip, into the darkness, and the birthing canal and channel, and coming into the light. Christmas Day is birthing a new cycle, right? And so as we shift into that, and then we're shifting into the solar plexus on the 12th of January or something, 2020 is nearly here, guys, and this whole new vibration of energy and light and opportunity and staying connected to your soul and your soul's purpose and trusting yourself over anybody else. Yeah, at its core, that's what 2020 is about, right? You're so welcome, Karen. All right, if anybody's got any questions, I'll just wait for a moment. If not, I'm going to jump off this live stream and jump into Trust Intuition and tell you guys what the news is, because I'm so excited about it. So I want to tell you guys, but you're going to have to wait. Those of you who aren't interested in intuition, you're going to have to wait. Probably a little while too, but anyway. But if you're a client, you can ask me any question and I will tell you, of course. So yeah, you're so welcome, guys. All right, I don't think there's any questions, but if you guys have got any questions, or if you're watching the replay, please comment them in below and I will come back and answer them as always. I will see you really soon. Lots of love.